Tuba, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. So, good morning, everyone. Actually, good morning to our participants from Morocco and Algeria, and good afternoon to those joining from Jordan, I can say. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Horizon Europe MSCA Info Day focused on doctoral networks, organized under the MSCA-GLOPOL project. My name is Tuba, and I will be your moderator for today's session. Today's event aims to provide you with a comprehensive overview of the MSCA actions, with a particular focus on doctoral networks, while also introducing other MSCA actions as well, like postdoctoral fellowships, like staff exchanges, and like MSCA co-funds. We are very pleased to see you all. Now I see that the number is increasing and increasing, 120 participants. That's great to see you all here. Great to see such a strong interest from institutions across Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco. We would like to thank you one by one, actually, for your kind presence in this MSCA focus session. Throughout the session, we will begin with a general introduction to Horizon Europe and MSCA, followed by a session providing more dedicated presentation on doctoral networks, including the key features of the upcoming calls and the role of participating institutions. All those will be presented by our distinguished speaker from European Commission, Dr. Soel Luca. So there will be a slight change on the agenda. So we will start with general introduction of Horizon Europe MSCA, and then we will directly follow with doctoral networks. And then I will be providing you more detail about different actions that I mentioned already, the other opportunities under MSCA, and then practical aspects such as proposal submission and partner search will be addressed, along with a success story to provide a real-life perspective on participation. Towards the end of the session, we will also introduce the activities of the Marie Curie Alumni Association with contributions from the Africa and Middle East chapters. Precious and Abu Fazl are with us to introduce you those actions. Finally, you will have the opportunity to hear directly from the MSCA national contact points in Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco. If you have not yet had the chance to connect with them, this will be a great opportunity to get to know your national support structures and learn how they can assist you in your MSCA journey. We really hope that this program will not only clarify the funding opportunities available, but also support you in identifying concrete ways to engage in MSCA projects and build strong international collaborations. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Soel Luca. I will leave the floor to him, but I just want to introduce him first. He has an extensive experience in EU research policy and international cooperation. He brings a strong academic background in molecular genetics, along with a distinguished career spanning academia, industry, and European institutions. Now he's currently working as senior expert at the MSCA unit of Director General for Education, Youth, Sport and Culture at the European Commission. And today he will provide us detailed information regarding MSCA's place under Horizon Europe, and then also MSCA Doctoral Networks as one of the main actions under MSCA. Dear Soel, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Tuba, and Sabah al-Khair Jami'an. Good morning, everybody. I will start by sharing my screen. I would have loved to be seeing you all, but we are just going to use our imagination. Okay, here. Do you see it okay?
Great. Yeah, perfectly. Thank you.
Wonderful. So basically what I'm going to do is I will give sort of a general information on MSCA in general and where it fits exactly in the European strategy for research and innovation called Horizon Europe. And then in the second part, we are going to zoom and focus a little bit on the principles and all the modalities of doctoral networks and ways to participate, of course. So you might actually be familiar with this slide. It's Horizon Europe. It is the 7-year strategy of the European Union for research and innovation. It's a strategy that comes with a budget and gets renovated every 7 years. And it's divided into pillars based on the emphasis that each funding pillar is providing. The excellence pillar, this is where Marie Sklodowska-Curie Actions, MSCA, is located, together also with the ERC, European Research Council, and research infrastructure. And here, it says that the main emphasis is excellence, and we're going to talk more about that. Pillar 2 is more directed towards addressing societal and global challenges and industrial competitiveness. It does not mean that these projects in Pillar 2 do not have excellence, but it means that the emphasis on the application to the society. And then you have Pillar 3, which is focusing on innovation, meaning just research outputs that is close to the market to bridge this gap and bring it to the market. There are some other, of course, supporting parts for this, but these are the main pillars. If we can just zoom a little bit on Pillar 1, where MSCA is, and you'll see that Horizon Europe has dedicated 6.6 billion euros for the period of these 7 years. Of course, just not to skip it, I think if you look at the bottom of the slide, you will see that since 2012 until last year, there have already been 23 Nobel laureates within the ranks of MSCA, either fellows or as supervisors. And hopefully the 24th Nobel laureate will be from Algeria, Jordan, or Morocco, inshallah. This year, we are celebrating 30 years of MSCA. And of course, it's inevitable that with this time, MSCA has developed a personality, features, principles that are always attached to MSCA. Becomes like a brand, if you will. Of course, the first one is our main business, which is the training, skills, and career development of researchers. The second aspect is what we call the bottom-up nature of it. In simple terms, it means that we do not specify a field of science or a discipline of science. All fields of science and research are allowed to apply, be it hardcore like physics, biology, chemistry, also social sciences, law, music, literature, any field of research. What counts is excellence, as I mentioned before. Another aspect that you will see in MSCA, and actually especially in doctoral networks, as we will see, is what we call the 3 I's: international, intersectoral, and interdisciplinary. MSCA is the most international part of the whole of Horizon Europe, even though it is only 7% of the budget of Horizon Europe. Cross-sectoral, by this we mean the collaboration between academia and non-academia. In many cases, the non-academia is actually industry or businesses, but it can also be an NGO or a museum or a hospital. And interdisciplinary is, let's say, self-explanatory, the coexistence of different disciplines within the same research project. We also insist on attractive working and employment conditions. So MSCA fellows always have work contracts and have social security, pension rights, parental leave, all the rights of employees, and workers. One aspect that is very important to us, but is very hard to measure, let's say, is what we call the structuring impact of our projects. That is, we like to think that the positive effect of an MSCA project does not end with the lifetime of the project. Its positive effects remain in the institution where it was. Now, I showed you the budget. We have 6.6 billion. We have principles to follow. And in order to bring these principles to life, we have 5 actions: doctoral networks, postdoctoral fellowships, staff exchanges, co-fund, and MSCA and citizens. In the next talk of me also, I will focus on doctoral networks, and Tuba and other colleagues will get a bit into the other actions as well. Just some key figures to give you an idea of the scope and the position that MSCA has inside Horizon Europe. So the 6.6 billion that you saw is actually only 7% of the whole of Horizon Europe. And so far, I'm saying so far because these numbers are changing every day, because we are in the middle of Horizon Europe, but it just gives you an idea. We have right now 8,470 distinct organizations that have participated so far in MSCA in Horizon Europe, that is since 2021. And 63% of them are from the non-academic sector, with 50% being from the industry. And with 7% of the whole budget of Horizon Europe, MSCA actually account for half the total participation from non-EU countries. So it is really the most international program in Horizon Europe. And 42% of the researchers involved are from non-EU countries. So these are figures about this international part that I thought would be important for you to know, that MSCA is open to all nationalities. Now we are going to get deeper into doctoral networks. But first, in order to be able to, let's say, to understand things smoothly, I would like to define some terminology first, just to make sure that we are speaking the same language. First, how does Horizon Europe divide the world? You have, of course, the EU member states, 27 countries that form the European Union. Then you have 20-something countries. They're called their countries associated to Horizon Europe. For one reason or another, they have joined the club of Horizon Europe. There can be different reasons. But the outcome is that for all practical purposes, they are treated almost exactly like EU member states. So you have the EU member states, the 27 countries, you have the 20-something countries that are associated to Horizon Europe, and then you have the rest of the world, other third countries. And just to tell you that when we say third countries, we mean non-EU countries. It has no other meaning. But somehow third countries sounds better, but it just means non-EU countries. More terminology to come. When an organization, not a country, an organization join an MSCA project, this organization can join either as a beneficiary or an associated partner. Now, careful with the word associated, because it has nothing to do with what I showed in last slide of associated countries. A beneficiary means that the organization will sign the grant agreement with the EU for that project, for that MSA project. It will receive funding directly, and it has to recruit and supervise the fellow. An associated partner is an organization that can join the consortium, but without signing the grant agreement and without receiving direct funding from the EU. But they can host researchers, visiting researchers, they can participate in the training, etc. Another distinction that is important to understand the rules for the actions is the difference between organizations and individuals. So far, I've been talking about organizations. So the organizations that join the MSCA actions can be any legal entity. Commonly, it's a university or perhaps a company, but it can actually be any legal entity. Even theoretically, even a restaurant or a pharmacy. Usually this doesn't happen, but I'm saying that legally, any legal entity can be part of the MSA projects. And they can be from the academia or non-academia, and they can participate as a beneficiary or associated partner, as we've seen in the past slide. Now, for individual researchers, number one, they can be from any nationality. And they have to move, meaning that you cannot become an MSc fellow and remain in the same country you are working and living. This is called the mobility rule. And then the different conditions would differ from one action to another. Now that we talked about these definitions, let's start looking at doctoral networks. What is an MSA doctoral network? First of all, it's a consortium of organizations that get together, maybe let's say 8 or 10 organizations. They get together and say, let us write a proposal for a doctoral network to the EU, to MSCA. They have to think of a big research project. It all starts with the research project, because MSCA is not just like a mobility program. It's a research project. So they think of a big research project in which all the partners of the consortium are involved. And this big research project is subdivided into smaller ones that are connected. And each of these smaller ones is designed to actually be performed by a PhD student. Then finally come the doctoral candidates that they apply to these projects, and if accepted, then they will be performing one of these sub-projects designed for the doctoral networks. MSCA Doctoral Networks has 3 types. The classical one, the one in blue on the left, which is what I just described. But there are 2 special types of doctoral networks. One is the industrial doctorates, which are more geared towards working with non-academia, and the joint doctorates, where the doctoral candidate is enrolled in 2 different universities. We are going to talk more about them. And we don't have quotas for these 3 modes, implementation modes. So that is the percentage of each of these implementation modes that we fund depends on what applicants want. We do not ring fence any of these modes. let's get a bit deeper on eligibility criteria for participants. Participants here meaning still organizations, the ones that form the consortium. Now, a doctoral network consortium must have a minimum of 3 legal entities from a member state or an associated country, with a minimum of 1 from a member state. This is the minimum for forming a consortium, even though in reality, we usually never have a consortium of only 3 organizations. The average is between 8 or 10 beneficiaries, let's say. And on top of this minimum, you can have any number of associated partners. And as I mentioned, these organizations can be from any field, academia or non-academia. Now, if this project by this consortium succeeds in getting the funding, how much do they get? And what are the durations of the projects, the durations of the fellowships? A successful MSCA doctoral network can get up to 540 person month for the whole project. What does that mean, person month? Each person month is 1 month worth of fellowship time, which means that if a consortium has 540 person month, they say, okay, we want to get 15 fellows, doctoral fellows, for each fellowship for 3 years. Then if you divide this 540 by 15, you're going to get 36 months per fellow. But of course, you can divide this amount of 540 according to the needs of the consortium, as long as for each fellow you don't exceed the maximum fellowship duration, which is 3 years for the normal doctoral networks and the industrial doctoral networks, and up to 4 years for the joint doctorates, which this takes us to the durations. For the project, it's 48 months and 60 months for joint doctorates. You will notice that the project lifetime is always 1 year more than the fellowship lifetime. Why? Because the consortium will need time first to get together, organize themselves before they start publishing vacancies for the fellowships, the doctoral networks fellowships. The fellowship itself can be, of course, as low as 3 months, but usually it's the maximum duration that candidates care about. So for the normal cases, it is up to 3 years, 36 months, except in the case of joint doctorates, it's 4 years, 48 months, because joint doctorates sometimes take longer. Within these projects, when a doctoral candidate gets a fellowship, they have the possibility of being seconded. They have secondments. And this is one of the aspects that usually doctoral network fellows at the end of the fellowships, they single this out as something that was very valuable for them, because throughout the fellowship, the doctoral fellow can actually go and spend time at the premises of other members of the consortium, be it academic or non-academic, which means that by the time the fellow finishes his or her PhD, they feel that they have done it actually not in one place, but in various places, benefiting from different perspectives, different scientific expertise, and also different scientific infrastructure. What are the maximum limits for these secondments? In the case of the classical doctoral network, it cannot be more than half the duration of the fellowship. While for industrial doctorates and joint doctorates, there are no limits for the secondments, no time limits. Another time-related condition is that in the case of industrial doctorates, the doctoral candidate would have to spend at least 50% of the fellowship duration at the non-academic premises. Some more eligibility conditions. Number one, if an organization is participating in a consortium in the capacity of a beneficiary, then they must recruit at least one doctoral candidate, host them, and supervise them. Another condition, it's a condition to ensure that within a consortium, you would not have just one or two partners that dominate and take the lion's share of the budget. So there is a maximum of 40% of the budget that can be allocated to partners in the same country. Another rule that is quite important is about resubmission. That is, imagine if a consortium presents a proposal this year, and then they are not successful. Can they present the same proposal next year? Yes, they can, but only if this year they have scored more than 80%. If not, then they will have to wait for a year and then resubmit it afterwards. Now, let me tell you a bit about the specific conditions for industrial doctorates and then for joint doctorates. For industrial doctorates, what defines the industrial doctorates are two things. One is that what I mentioned about spending a minimum of 50% of the fellowship time at the non-academic sector, and that the fellow has two supervisors, one from the academic sector and one from the non-academic sector. For the joint doctorates, you have a special condition, number one, for the consortium composition. That is, a minimum of 3 organizations in the consortium must be able to award PhDs. Usually, have to be universities. The second is that the consortium that is proposing a joint doctorate, they must establish procedures for joint admission, joint selection, training, supervision, governance, and they have to do a pre-agreement together before submitting the proposal in order to ensure that the requirements for offering a PhD will be compatible with each other. When you have 2 universities in 2 different countries, sometimes they have different requirements for offering a PhD. So far, we've been talking about organizations. What about the eligibility conditions for researchers? Number one, of course, doctoral candidate, they should not have a doctorate already when they're applying for a doctoral fellowship with the MSCA. Secondly, to be enrolled in a PhD program in an EU member state or associated country, or in a non-EU country that is a beneficiary. And Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco can be beneficiaries. You can be a beneficiary as a non-EU country automatically if the country is classified as low to medium income country. The researchers applying can be from any nationality. And as I mentioned before, they have to fulfill the mobility rule. That is, they cannot apply and stay where they are currently living and working. How do we define currently living and working? Because sometimes people are going in and out of a country. So basically, in the past 3 years, the applicant should not have spent more of 12 months in total in the past 36 months in the same country. If a candidate is successful, a fellow, they applied to a consortium, and they are accepted to start to be a doctoral fellow with MSCA. What would be the kind of financial unit cost that we give per month? So in the first three columns in this table, saying living allowance, mobility allowance, family allowance, these are the equivalent of the monthly salary. Okay, so there's the living allowance plus the mobility allowance. Almost everybody gets the mobility allowance because, as I said, everybody has to move in order to get the fellowship. So in order to account for the expenses associated with somebody living in a foreign country, the mobility allowance is added to the living allowance. If the candidate has a family, then you add also the family allowance. But I must say that these numbers you see here are not the numbers that apply in all countries. Each country is different. So basically, these numbers are the amounts that somebody living in Belgium would be getting. For each country, there is something called the Country Correction Coefficient, CCC, that represents the cost of living in each country, which is different from one country to another. So these values are multiplied by the country correction coefficient. I mean, not all the values, but the living allowance, in order to compensate for the differences between countries. Sometimes the amount goes up, sometimes it goes down. The last two columns, again, are very important and interesting ones. The research, training, and networking contribution, 1,600 euros per month. These are amounts that go to the research and training activities of the fellow. For example, publication costs, going to conferences, registering in a training, and even materials like bench fees to buy materials for your research, intellectual property costs, whatever. So things that are related directly to the research, and they go to the activities of the fellow. The last column, which is the management and indirect contribution, it goes to the consortium for two different activities. One, the management of the project itself, the MSA project, and for the institution for the indirect cost associated with hosting this individual researcher. Now, in my next slide, it's almost the last one, which is just, for your convenience to more or less summarize everything that I've just said, schematically, without mentioning the details, just as a reminder. There is a doctoral network call that is coming very soon. It will open on the 28th of May, and it will remain open until the 24th of November. And of course, I mean, there will be lots of resources to help you if you're interested in applying as an institution, because fellows application come later once a project is approved. One of the challenging parts when you're starting thinking about applying as an organization is to actually form the consortium. Many times you form the consortium through, of course, your scientific connections. You are in a field and you know the other people in your field, but sometimes also you want to extend yourself to other disciplines to add them to the consortium. And there are some resources where you can find partners. You have matchmaking platforms. I mean, I'm assuming you are going to get this presentation afterwards. So that's why, I mean, I added this slide with links that can be helpful for you. With that said, I will be more than happy to take any of your questions, hoping I can answer them, and I will stop sharing now so that you probably can see me better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sayal, for this great presentation. Of course, there are some questions. If you allow me, I will just try to find them all because I see some questions in chat box, but I also see questions in Q&A section. So please write your questions, whichever place you would like to see, but in chat box, it's sometimes difficult to find them all. If I miss any question, please write it again. So I see a question about criteria, but the question arrives when you have been presenting already. So you already replied this question, all the criteria for the institutions, the eligibility criteria especially. So if it is not well understood, maybe participants will ask again. But there is this question already because who arrived late, Hala Abu Zaid is asking, is there a way to find out what programs are offered in PhD of physical therapy? So he is asking the topics. So maybe it's good to explain this bottom-up approach again.
So all topics and all fields are eligible. Okay, so there are two scenarios. If the question is coming from somebody representing an organization or a research group, it means that this organization needs to form a consortium, and they would apply with their topic, and their topic will be very, very welcome. If the question is coming to represent an individual who wants to pursue a PhD, this means that they would go on the EURAXIS website that I'm sure will be talked about a lot this morning, where any doctoral position that is available is publishing on it. And they just need to hope that there will have been a consortium that applied into this field. But as far as the EU is concerned, there is full eligibility for this topic and any other topic.
Yes, great. It's very clear. I hope it's understood. Another question is about Seal of Excellence, but I'm not so sure if our participants get a Seal of Excellence in which action, but assuming that with this action, he is asking, last year I had 87 over 100 Seal of Excellence. I will participate with the last proposal, but I need to change with integration and new technologies with respect to the reviewers' recommendations. Can I modify my proposal and resubmit or just correct the reviewers' recommendation? What do you think he's asking?
I got a bit confused along the way. Is this still the Seal of Excellence question?
Yes, yes. That we already submitted a proposal last year.
So Seal of Excellence does not exist in doctoral networks. It is in postdoctoral fellowships, because postdoctoral fellowships are mono-beneficiary. So the Seal of Excellence goes to the person, the potential postdoc that was, let's say, had scored very well, but there was not enough funding. And then it goes to their own member states. Like, let's say that, the postdoc was, from a particular country. And then they tell this country, listen, I have good evaluation and I have the Seal of Excellence if they can find it. For multi-beneficiary actions, like the doctoral networks, we don't have the Seal of Excellence system.
Yeah, I think this question was about PF. That was the confusion from my side as well. But yes, thank you for the reply. And we got another question about the procedures to apply as an individual researcher, Reika Buromi, and I would like to mention that we will show you your access platform soon, where you can find funded doctoral networks, and you can just go and submit your CV to take part in a funded co-fund or doctoral network project. So we are coming to that section soon with our colleagues after this presentation. I also see another question about budget, Soil, because the question mentions that you mean that the hosting institution will contribute with amount of money, 1,600 or 1,200 euros, or the scheme will cover that. I think there is a confusion about that. Would you like to clarify this?
Yeah. So it's the receiving institutions will not contribute. They will receive this money.
Mm-hmm.
They will receive the 1,600 of the management and indirect cost in order to use this money for the management of the project and the costs associated with having an individual one more person in their organization. This, you need a chair, you need a computer, you need somebody in human resources managing their file. So these are costs, and we as EU compensate the institution for this. The 1,200 euros are for the benefit of the fellow, not the institution, to cover their research and training costs.
Yeah, thank you for this clarification. I see many questions about the research domain. Maybe it's good to underline again for latecomers. It's a bottom-up approach, so all topics can be covered with a consortium funded under doctoral networks, but those funded projects will search for PhD candidates, and those candidates, the publications or advertisements of searching those candidates will be published under your Access website for sure. This is obligatory, so that's the reason why we will be showing you what this your Access website offering. So please follow us till the end of the session. We will be showing you that platform as well. Universities with no doctoral programs, are they eligible to participate, Soil? Another question. The universities
again, because there was like the sound, there is a little bit of fluctuation.
Yeah, sorry. The universities with no doctoral programs, so which are not providing doctoral programs, are they eligible to participate in doctoral networks? And how?
Organizations.
Yes, universities, but they don't have a doctoral program.
Yes, I mean, not only eligible, but encouraged. We like very much to have a balanced consortium with academic institutions and non-academic institutions that do not provide, a doctoral degree. So the answer is yes, they can.
Okay. I think this question will be again answered by our colleagues in the next session. Ahmed, how can applicants from Algeria strengthen their CV to be competitive for DN positions? The positions will be published under your Access website, and maybe we can discuss this later. If Soil, you want to add anything, please go. But I have other things. Okay. Is prior international experience required to be selected? I think this is again for PhD candidates to be selected, right? So is there any prior international experience required to be selected? Maybe we can reply this question with the consortium's international experience, because to get the funding, the experience of the consortium members are really relevant, right, in terms of the evaluators while checking the proposals. What do you think, Soil?
Again, let us make sure that it's clear whether we're talking about the consortium and the organizations or some potential doctoral candidate applying. So first, for applying as part of a consortium for a project, a doctoral network project, there is no formal requirement for international experience. Okay, so I mean, there are several evaluation criteria, and this is not one of them. Now, for an individual, the selection is a decision by the consortium. So basically, the consortium will publish the post, and then the applicant will apply, and it will be like any actually job interview. So here, I cannot even know the criteria. What we oblige the consortium to do, that the recruitment must be open, transparent, and fair, according to the rules stipulated in the European Charter for Researchers. But what are the qualities they need? It really depends on the project. Like if the project is about the indigenous anthropological habits of a desert community, then I think international experience will be less needed. Depends on the topic. I don't know. So it's all decided by the consortium themselves. We have nothing to do with this, as long as it is fair procedure.
Yeah, it's very clear, Sohail. I think, yes, I see many questions from PhD candidates as well. So you explained perfectly. So there is a difference how you apply. I see another question from an organization representative, I guess, because he is asking, is it possible for an organization apply for an already existing PhD program to be converted into establishing industrial PhD program to get the funding and make a consortium based on this proposal? So as I understood, he's asking, can we convert our PhD program into an industrial one and submit a proposal like that?
The existing program, if it is an MSCA Doctoral Networks, then of course it has to finish first, completed, and then you would apply for a new project that can be, of course, industrial. If the existing program that the colleague is asking about is not an MSCA program, then of course you can do the requirement and apply for an industrial doctorate with absolutely no issues at all.
Great, thank you, Sohail. I see again some different questions because they asked those questions before you gave those explanations to us. But I think we covered all those questions, and the ones that we did not cover, I see some postdoctoral fellowship questions as well. We will be giving more detail about it. We will be giving more detail about staff exchanges as well. So you will be informed during the info session. Regarding the doctoral networks, if you have any other question, I think I will give 1 or 2 more minutes to write them in the Q&A box, because in that box it's a bit mixed with hellos, bonjours, everything's are just mixed. So I'm trying to find out the questions. If I am missing some questions, I am really sorry about that. But in the Q&A box, I see better. One more question I just saw. Do doctoral networks recruit people who are already pursuing a doctoral degree in their home country? How does it work, they ask. Did you get the question? So doctoral networks recruit people who are already pursuing a doctoral degree in their home country? Obviously no, because we have this mobility condition, right? So would you like to explain this?
Okay. So number one, if first of all, it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement that the person would be already a doctoral candidate somewhere. But let's say it is possible, but how? let us imagine that you are somebody who is enrolled in a doctoral program in Algeria, for instance, and you can still apply for a fellowship, a doctoral position, for the rest of your doctoral work, as long as you pursue it in another country. You do it elsewhere. However, it's not a requirement. That is, you can just have a master's, you're not enrolled anywhere, and then you apply when you see a position on your access that you will hear about. And then, if you do a successful interview and everything, then you need to be enrolled in one of the degree awarding partners in the consortium that published the position.
Great, thank you for this clarification. Sohail, one practical question about setting up a consortium. Our participant is asking, if I form a consortium of 3 universities from Algeria and 1 from associated country, what do I need to be eligible? So with 3 consortium members being the minimum eligibility condition, but maybe to add some more other partners, but the minimum eligibility criteria he's asking from Algeria and associated country, plus what else we need to add?
So the minimum of 3 will have to have countries that are not Algeria, because the minimum of 3 for eligibility is EU member state or associated country with a minimum of 1 EU member state. Meaning that once you have this minimum 3 of organizations from 3 different EU member states or associated countries, on top of this, then you can add any organizations you like. And something perhaps that I wanted to mention, but I forgot, because it can facilitate regional cooperation. When I mentioned about the associated countries, there is 20-something associated countries that have more possibilities of collaborations. 2 of them are Arab countries, and it's good for you to know in case you want to be part of consortia that are working on regional issues, for instance. And these are Tunisia and Egypt. So this is something I meant to mention, but I kind of forgot. So I'm glad the discussion took us there.
Yes, thank you for this contribution. You're totally right. Setting up the consortium is the first thing that we need to care about, I guess, and adding maybe more partners on it. I see questions about the recording and also the presentations. Just rest assured that we will be sharing the recording and the presentations and a website post in our GLOPOL website. So please just try to subscribe it. I will send you the link, and you will receive everything in your inbox if you have registered to this event as well. As I told you, I see many questions from individual PhD candidates. We will be following on different sessions, trying to reply those questions. I see a question from our testimonial, Butania, as well. Sorry, Butania, I didn't give you the floor yet, but I think we will just need to stop here to continue our event. Butania will be providing us more detail about how to implement a project as a partner in a doctoral network. So we will be sharing her presentation with you as well, and we will be following on this, and I will try to create the contact between you if you have any questions while implementing the project, Butania. And Sohail, thank you very much for your time, for your dedication, for your support to the event. I think it was a great presentation with full of questions and great replies. Thank you for that. I will be sharing my contact detail from GLOPOL project so that we might receive more questions, and if we may not reply, we will be just asking you, Sohail. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much too, and I apologize that I have to run to another meeting. I would have liked to continue and also hear everybody and the testimonials. And I want to thank also the audience for their great questions and for their kindness that they did not send me any questions that I didn't know about. So it's good like that. So I wish you good continuation, and I thank you again. See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Thank you for your time and for your support. Thanks again. Okay, as we have just arrived to the end of these first two sessions about navigating MSCA in Horizon Europe, and then the session about MSCA Doctoral Networks, we just finished, I think, first 1 hour already. Now, if you allow me, I would like to share with you what are the other opportunities under MSCA. As we mentioned, there are some other opportunities like stock exchanges, like postdoctoral fellowships, like co-funds, which is MSCA co-fund, because there are some other co-funding mechanisms as well. And also Choose Europe, and also Researchers' Night, maybe, although only member states and associated countries are taking part in it. But I would like to mention all those different opportunities. If you allow me, I would like to share my screen so that you will see my presentation. Okay, I hope I don't see you, sorry about that, but I hope you see my presentation in full screen mode. Great.
No? Try again, please. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you do not see,
you can switch the mode.
Go out and let me stop. Oops. How about now? No?
Wait.
Yeah, great. Okay. You see it now, right?
Yes, now it's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Ahmed, for confirming that. Okay, I already mentioned that I will be taking your about 20-25 more minutes about those actions, and I will be ready to reply your questions about all those actions. As we have mentioned, they are the opportunities that you can take part as institutions, but sometimes as individual researchers as well, like the action, like postdoctoral fellowships, because it is I think the most popular one under MSCA. From any part of the world, as an individual researcher, you can apply. So I will be talking about the opportunities with the eyes of institutions, and sometimes from the eyes of the researchers. Okay, let's just, I don't know, not repeat, but tell that MSCA is located under a big Horizon Europe program, which has 95.5 billion euros budget, and 6.6 billion euros are just separated for MSCA, which is under excellent science pillar. And I can tell you that the program it will end in, still have some other calls in 2026 and in 2027. So 2 more years to finish this Horizon Europe program. After that, we will have FP10, 10th Framework Program. And we are very sure that there will be the continuation of MSCA program. There will be similar actions under it, but of course the rules might change. But the good news is that for the upcoming 2 years, 2026 and 2027, the rules that we are mentioning today, both for doctoral networks and also for the other actions, I can tell you that the rules are set already in the work program, and the work programs are published every 2 years. So we are talking about the rules that we see in the published work programs already, which is good, which means that the rules are set and you will learn the details today, and you can submit your proposals for the upcoming 2026 and then 2027 calls. This is a short introduction and maybe summary of the calls. You see that doctoral networks just on the top of the page, but the other actions, the second and third being the postdoctoral fellowships and staff exchanges, I can tell you that they are the most international programs. So as Sohail mentioned, the countries are differentiated. I'm just showing the list again among member states. Maybe you need to see the names, so I added the names here. Also, the Horizon Europe associated countries, again, as Sohail said, the list is being updated frequently because there are changes most of the time. Lastly, Egypt become an associated country, for instance, or Tunisia is in the list also among the associated countries from the region, I can say. So please just check the list while you are setting up your consortium. If you are, I don't know, contacted by one of those countries, institutions to take part in one of the consortiums. So please check the list, because as the institutions of Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco, you will be listed as other third country. Again, there is this good news that we have mentioned since the beginning of the session. There are some countries like Jordan, Algeria, and Morocco, who are low and middle income countries and who are automatically eligible for some funding if you are taking part as an institution in some consortiums like doctoral networks or staff exchanges. I will be talking about what we mean under staff exchanges, and also for postdoctoral fellowships, there is this global fellowship opportunity where you can invite researchers to your institutions in your countries. Okay, let me just come back to this slide, because you see that for whole summer, the postdoctoral fellowship call will be open till the 9th of September. And then staff exchanges call will be opening in December this year, because in April, the previous call just closed. And for the co-fund MSCA Citizens and Choose Europe's, I have to tell you that those are the member states or associated countries who are taking part in those consortiums, mainly as beneficiaries, but you can take part as associated partners, as institutions in those actions. That's the reason I just wanted to give what MSCA is aiming with those calls, because at the end of the day, at the end of this info session, I would like you to say that, okay, I heard all actions under MSCA. I don't want to leave you without showing you all the actions under, all the opportunities under MSCA. That's the reason I have added all those 4th, 5th, and 6th calls. So you will hear about those details from me today, so you will have an idea of it. If you hear any opportunity to take part as an associated partner in one of the actions, which is writing a proposal in Europe, you can just hear some details and take part as associated partner. Okay. After all those things, let's start with postdoctoral fellowships. I saw many questions in the chat box in Q&A section as well. I hope I will be replying all of them. If not, let's meet at the end of the session for more questions. It has a large budget, almost 400 million euros, just for this year, just for 2026 call. So for the 2027 call next year, there will be similar budget as well. And the call is open on the 9th of April till 9th of September. We are saying individual researchers, but these individual researchers needs to find an institution to write a proposal. So everything is done with the help of an institution, even though proposal is just funding one individual researcher with postdoctoral fellowships. The name is postdoctoral fellowships. It's obvious. It says that you need to have your doctoral degree to submit a proposal as an individual researcher to get funding from postdoctoral fellowships. And as an institution, if you would like to invite a researcher to your countries, to your institutions, you need to find a postdoctoral fellow to invite. So this is the main criteria. So any PhD candidate who didn't get a postdoctoral degree yet cannot be a part, or cannot be cannot be funded by a PF program, I can say. Okay, the main aim of this fellowship is to enhance the creative and innovative potential of researchers who are holding a PhD, as I said, and who wish to acquire new skills through really advanced training. So in the proposal, what type of advanced training is proposed is already written also, because the evaluators are checking this part as well. And this training needs to be international, interdisciplinary, and intersectoral most of the time. Those are things that you are just taking care of in the proposal. Let's check two types, European fellowships and global fellowships. There are two panels that you can check, and you can submit your proposal as an individual researcher. But as an institution in Jordan, Algeria, and Morocco, I can tell you that you need to invite researchers with global fellowships to your countries. Why? Because with global fellowships, I already mentioned here that Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco, you are third country. You are listed as third country in terms of the terminology. And between EU member states and associated countries and third countries, you can use the global fellowships to send a researcher to you, to your countries, to your institutions, and then that researcher needs to go back to Europe, member state or associated country to transfer of knowledge. So in that case, European Commission is just signing the grant agreement with EU member states. After, of course, getting the funding. And then this institution is sending that postdoctoral fellow to Algeria, Jordan, or Morocco. Of course, the institution is written and explained what kind of trainings will be given. All those things are written in the proposal. And that researcher can stay from 1 to 2 years, from 12 to 24 months in your countries, and then needs to go back for 12 months for transfer of knowledge to EU member states or associated countries. So this is the mechanism. I will be giving more details, but the exchange can be created thanks to global fellowships between those three countries, Algeria, Jordan, Morocco, and EU member states associated countries. Let's keep this in mind for the institutions located in those countries. For European fellowships, I cannot tell you that Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco institutions can benefit from that, because for European fellowships, the individual researcher can go from a EU member state country to another EU member state or associated country, or Algerian, Jordan, Moroccan, the researchers located there can go directly to EU member states associated countries. In that case, that researcher with any nationality can go to EU member states or associated countries thanks to European fellowships, but there is nothing to do with the institutions in Jordan, Morocco, or Algeria. The researcher can write the proposal with an institution located in EU, write the proposal, and can go there from 12 to 24 months. So, as I said, if institutionally you would like to invite a researcher to Algeria, Jordan, and Morocco, it is the global fellowships that you will search for, and you will invite the researcher to your countries. But again, as an individual researcher living in Algeria, Jordan, Morocco, you can choose a country and an institution in EU member states, and you can submit individually a proposal to European fellowships. Okay, I will be giving more detail about what we are talking about. When participating organizations, we say a single independent organization in an EU member state or Horizon Europe associated country, because the grant agreements are signed with those countries. If it is global fellowships, that country, let's give the example of, France, an institution in France can send the researcher to Morocco, to Algeria, to Jordan institution, and then that researcher from that institution, after finishing the training, will go to France. That's the reason why we say the participating organization is in France, and in the third country, it will be the partnering institution or global fellowship institution, let me say. For the researchers, the researcher needs to have PhD diploma, that's for sure, with a successful unconditional defense, let me say. And for European fellowship, any nationality can submit a proposal to go to an institution in Europe, in member states or associated countries. But for global fellowships, there is this rule which is important. The nationals of EU member states or long-term residents of member states associated countries can be invited to third countries. So if you will be looking for a talented researcher to invite Morocco, Algeria, Jordan, please check if they are national of EU member states or associated countries, or long-term residents, which is 5 consecutive years from Europe, I can say. Okay, this 8 years rule is also another important rule because it is again eligible to condition. The researcher who got the PhD diploma should not be passing the 8 years research experience limit. There are some exceptions like career breaks, like maternity leave, or some health issues leave, or some work just carried out outside research, like administrative job done at university without research. So all those exceptions can be deducted from the amount of experience. So maximum 8 years research experience should be there for individual researcher to be eligible. And the mobility rule is the main rule again for the researchers, because if that researcher is going, I don't know, from France to Jordan, we need to check that this researcher should not have resided or have had main activity in Jordan more than 12 months in the last 36 months. This is valid for the location that the researcher is going. If the researcher is going, I don't know, from Algeria to France, it will be checked again for France, this mobility condition. So this is the mobility rule, I can say. I already mentioned that for European fellowships, the duration can be minimum 12 months, maximum 24 months. Global fellowships, this can be up to 36 months. Why? Because there is this 12-month mandatory return for the researcher who came to the third country, Algeria, Jordan, Morocco, for instance. He or she can come maximum 12 months. But without bargain, there is this mandatory return phase for fixed 12 months back to Europe, back to European Associated or Horizon Associated or Member State, let me say. So the duration of global fellowship can be up to 36 months, including the 12-month mandatory return phase, which is longer than European fellowships. There can be secondments in the duration of the fellowship, I can say. And there is this new rule for up to half time, let me say, of the total duration for European fellowships and for global fellowships. But these secondments can be, again here, will be calculated for the outgoing phase for global fellowships. And there is this non-academic placement option as well. This is different from secondments because secondments is included in the normal duration of the fellowship, but non-academic placements is something that will be added at the end of the fellowship duration. So it can prolong the duration of the fellowship, I can say. Again, the name is non-academic placement, so the placement can be done only on non-academic institutions. So I already mentioned the difference between academia and non-academia. This is the same thing. So non-academic institutions needs to be fined by the researcher if this NAP, non-academic placement, is asked in the proposal. This is optional, by the way. You are not forced to do that, right, in the proposal, but this is an optional opportunity, let me say. Okay, this table will be showing you the main differences between European fellowships and global fellowships. Let's focus on global fellowships first, because there is this nationality condition I already mentioned. If you are inviting someone to your country, to Algeria, Jordan, or Morocco, please be careful about the citizenship of that researcher, or if the citizenship is not valid for, EU member states and associated countries. So he or she needs to be long-term resident of EU member states or associated countries. And the mobility condition, not having resided or carrying out research main activity, let me say, for more than 12 months in the last 3 years is the mobility condition. This needs to be checked for the researcher who is invited to your country. If he or she's turning back to her main country. There is no condition to check that. For global fellowships, that's the thing. But for European fellowships, any researcher, individual researcher who would like to go to Europe, again, mobility condition is there, and no nationality condition is there. So any researcher with any nationality can go to Europe by using European fellowships, and mobility condition I mentioned. And the 8 years rule, again, something that I need to underline. Please check the guidelines that I will be sharing the link at the end of my presentation. So exceptions can be applied. If you think that you are over 8-year experience, you might deduct some time that you passed out of research. Okay, this is the budget. It's unit cost, and it is very similar to doctoral networks that Soil already showed. But the numbers are different because this is postdoctoral fellowship, and it is believed that the living allowance is needed by the researcher to live in a different country. So it is correction coefficient is applied there. I checked before preparing my presentation for Algeria, it's 70%, Jordan and Morocco, it is different. So only the living allowance is multiplied with CCC, country correction coefficient. The other unit costs are fixed. So mobility allowance and family allowance will be given to the researcher if the researcher has a family or has a dependent, I don't know, child or family member. For him, her, this family allowance will be provided, and mobility allowance will be provided for sure for anyone. So that part is for the researcher, that will be given to the researcher by the institution. And that part is the institutional contribution. That research training networking contribution will be spent by the researcher and the supervisor, but that needs to be asked by them to the institution. So the budget will be given to the institution, but the institution will be spending this budget for research, training, and networking issues for the researcher and the supervisor, I can say. And management indirect contribution will be under the supervision of the institution. Again, for any kind of management issues, this budget can be used. Okay, these are the numbers that are shown here monthly basis. So you need to multiply this, I don't know if it is 36 months project, you need to multiply this with 36, but don't worry about the calculation of the budget. Everything is automatically calculated when you submit your proposal on the A forms. My colleague, after me, Ahmed, will be showing you those pages. For doctoral networks, he will show, but you will understand the structure of how to write your proposal and submit it on funding and tenders portal. There will be details. And if you follow our website on GLOPOL project, you will see that we are preparing and organizing many detailed events, info days. So please join one of the PF sessions to get more information. Today, I will be showing you very shortly the actions, as I said. So I'm not be going into detail of funding tender portals, but I would like to tell you that you're writing everything online in a form for 10-page proposal. As an institution, if you would like to invite someone to your institution, please contact with the researcher and write the proposal together. Help this researcher to write the proposal and then submit the proposal together through the funding tenders portal. And when you get the funding, hopefully, the grant agreement will be signed with the institution in Europe. But Algeria, Morocco, and Jordan institutions will be the partner institutions in global fellowships, so that the budget will be sent from those institutions to the researcher. So the researcher will be funded thanks to the EU budget. So you will have a talented postdoctoral fellow in your institutions, which is great opportunity, I guess. Okay, this is the summary of the call planning. 9th of September is the deadline, and then the results will arrive, I think, the February of 2027, then the grant agreements will be signed later. I'm sure you have questions, but just to be respectful with the other speakers, maybe I will follow with the staff exchanges, not losing so much time, and I will reply your questions maybe in the chat box in a written format, or maybe I can take them later. Okay, this is postdoctoral fellowships. As I said, there is one researcher which is funded with one institution if it is European fellowships, but one researcher is funded between two institutions if it is global fellowships. Of course, the funding is coming from European Commission, yes, but the institution number is depending on the panel where the researcher is funded, I can say. But staff exchanges is totally different because it is a consortium that you need to create. Like Soyal explained in Doctoral Networks, there is this minimum condition to set up your consortium. Before passing to that detail, I would like to tell you that this is research and innovation mobility action. So in the center, there is a research topic. Again, it's bottom-up approach. So any topic that you can choose and you can write your proposal, of course, with the EU partners from EU member states and associated countries. I will be showing you the minimum condition. But when you set up your consortium, your aim will be to second the staff in this consortium. When I say staff, I would like to underline that it is mainly research staff, but technical and administrative staff can also be seconded, which is I think the good part, best part of the staff exchanges. And staff exchanges is the most international call of not only MSCA, but of Horizon Europe, I guess I can tell. So please keep in mind that you can take part in staff exchanges consortiums because you are a third country, but you are low and middle income country. So European Commission is ready to automatically fund your exchanges under staff exchanges, I can say. The call is not open. In April, the last year's call closed, but for the next call, you can wait till December. And meanwhile, you can look for some partners or the coordinators who are writing the proposal, and you can become a partner in an already written or on the process of writing of a proposal. So the aim is to create international, intersectoral, and interdisciplinary mobility for the research and innovation staff, thanks to the staff secondments. So again, the aim will be to transfer the knowledge between participating organizations. Since the participating organizations will be both from academia and non-academia, the other aim will be to collaborate between academia and non-academia, which is again great opportunity. And the cooperation across the globe is another aim. You will see that transnational mobility option will be available under staff exchanges. I'm coming to that slide, which is some sort of a summary slide, but I would like to explain you the minimum condition to set up a consortium. The consortium of minimum legal, 3 legal entities in 3 different countries should be there to set up the consortium. And 2 of those countries should be in a different EU member state or Horizon Europe associated country. So if you see minimum 2 EU member state associated country coming together writing a proposal. As a third country, you can be partnering in that consortium as a third partner. But I can tell you that staff exchanges, okay, minimum condition is 3 institutions from 3 countries, but I can tell you that the 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10 members are generally coming together. I cannot tell you that minimum I can't tell, but maximum number of partners should be that number. I cannot tell you that, but I can tell you that it should be a manageable size. So if a consortium created with 30 institutions, it will be very difficult to manage the consortium because you will write who is going from which institution to which institution, which researcher, not the name, but the quality or the research level of the researcher is mentioned in the proposal. So any research level can be seconded in the institution in a staff exchange consortium. So all those things need to be clarified in a 30-page proposal, and that needs to be evaluated by the evaluators, expert evaluators, by the European Commission. So you need to be a partner in a proposal which is very well written, which is also which has also balanced exchanges between the partners in the consortium. So the academic sector will be there, non-academic sector will be there, because this is the rule again. So meeting the minimum condition, you can add many more partners in a proposal, I can say. Any type of staff I mentioned that can be seconded, like researchers, like administrative staff, managerial staff, technical staff. This is a good news. And researchers at any career stage can be seconded. This is also good. So any researcher just at the level of very, let me say, PhD candidate level, or just, just at the start of their research career can be seconded. But any researcher at top level, like professorship, can be seconded. Or in non-academia, any person, just researcher who has been just recruited or who is at the age of retirement can be also seconded. So depending on the needs, the proposal, the consortium is writing the proposal, so mentioning all those details. And each staff member will be seconded from 1 to 12 months, maximum 12 months per person will be written for the secondments. And after the secondments, the staff should return to their sending institution. So a researcher in an institution located in Morocco will go to a partner, I don't know, in UK, let's say. So after passing maximum 12 months, that researcher will come back to his or her institution. And one good thing that I will mention is these 12 months can be split, like 3 months, 4 months, depending on, or minimum 1 month will be there, but you can split these 12 months exchanges again. This is the budget. I will just mention that this is not a recruitment, so the numbers are different than PF, different than doctoral networks. This is top-up allowance. So every researcher who is seconded from one institution to another one will continue to receive his or her salary from the institution, and European Commission will be providing this budget as a top-up allowance. So the staff member unit cost is this one. If you're sending the research for 12 months, you will multiply this one to calculate the budget of your project. And this research and management budget will also be given for monthly basis. So the secondment needs to be done to earn this budget. If you do not second the researcher, you cannot use this budget, I can say. The call will be open in December, and in April it will be closed with a 95.04 million euro budget. I will not talk more about co-fund, but I would like to mention it. Why, you will say? Because this is a program which is open for EU member states and associated countries. So they can write a proposal, to submit a proposal to a call opened for co-fund, MSCA co-fund. But the good thing is that while writing the proposal by an institution in EU member states and associated countries, they can add some implementing partners from low and middle income countries, also some associated partners from anywhere in the world. And the associated partners in the third countries like Algeria, Morocco, Jordan, they can just add on the training of the researchers. So if you hear about some, co-fund proposal writers in Europe, you can discuss the details and you can see how you can take part in that proposal by providing training, some summer schools, I don't know, or just creating some conferences together, such kind of things. So this can be an opportunity for you. So just keep in mind that there is this option of co-fund in EU member states and associated countries. And the main reason of writing a co-fund program is to create a national, regional, or institutional schemes for doctoral training. I just crossed postdoctoral fellowships because it is over. With this year, European Commission created another call named as Choose Europe. I will just mention it. And under Choose Europe, postdoctoral fellowships can be created. Under co-fund, now it is only available to create doctoral training fellowships. So just for best practice, high standards and excellent working conditions, sustainable structure effects, all those focus are given in the fellowship programs. And in those fellowship programs, member states and associated countries are funding the researchers. So they are creating their own funding mechanisms with the help of European Commission funding. That is the summary of the program, I can say. Choose Europe, as I mentioned, this is a new program. A pilot call has just closed and announced the results. Now there is a real call under MSCA. Did I mention? Okay, I didn't mention the deadline, but it will be opening with co-fund and closing with co-fund again. Here, the aim is a bit different because it is for postdoctoral fellowships, and European Commission is again asking to European member states and associated countries to create a fellowship program, and the first 2 to 3 years will be funded by EU, then 2 years will be funded by the national authorities in those countries. Again, as a low and middle income countries, you can be an associated partner in those Choose Europe programs. You cannot write your own proposal, but just keep in mind that there is this option in the world, in Europe. If you hear about anything, you can discuss with the coordinators. Okay, this is one summary page where what you can do as a third country, as a low and middle income country, I can say. You can be associated partners in all those actions. That's the reason why we are organizing this info session today. You will not be named as beneficiary if it is staff exchanges, if it is postdoctoral fellowships or co-fund, but again, you can be an associated partner. For doctoral networks, after getting funding, you can be named as beneficiary if this has happened, so that we can discuss how this will be formally be done later. Individuals, because we receive many questions, you will see the EURAccess platform soon. My colleague Ahmet will explain. So for doctoral networks, for postdoctoral fellowships, and for co-fund, you will see many opportunities under EURAccess if you are an individual researcher and seeking opportunities in Europe. For doctoral networks and co-fund, definitely you will find opportunities, but it is a bottom approach, so we do not know which topic is funded. Need to check and maybe filter the topics. And for postdoctoral fellowships, you can see many host institutions in Europe, also non-European countries, are submitting their advertisements on EURAccess. So we would like to advise Jordan, Morocco, and Algerian institutions to publish their host institutions available with opportunities there, and just show what kind of opportunities they have, and seek the relevant researchers to submit a proposal for global fellowships, I can say. Seasons is something, again, you cannot take part, but if you hear, just keep in mind that every year, last Friday of each September, there is this big celebration of Researchers' Night in Europe. In every member state, associated countries, generally it's celebrated, so you can just go and visit and see. I will be sending you my presentation, so you will see all those key resources and guidance documents. As I said, my colleague will be showing you the funding tenders portal, but the national contact points are very important, doing great job, and you will meet today 3 national contact points of 3 countries. But if you need to contact with some other countries' NCPs, please go and click on this. When you receive the presentation, you will see that there are many NCPs located in different parts of the world. My final slide will be coming from MSCA-GLOPOL, because we have a very nice web page where you can see all the events published. Please go and check if you're interested in specific call. So just check which dates we are organizing, because we are organizing many events. You can just register and go. And you can also subscribe to our web page if you would like to receive information as well. So this is my last slide. With this, I apologize if I missed the timing a little bit. I would like to invite my colleague Ahmet to the stage. I know there are many questions, but I would like to just reply them in a written way in the chat box and Q&A box. If I may not, maybe after Ahmet, I can take the floor again to reply some specific questions. Thank you for your patience. Ahmet, the floor is yours, but maybe I know you are very popular in the region, Ahmet, so everyone knows you, but maybe it's good that I also introduce you, if you allow me. I will just stop sharing so our faces will be seen. We will, as I said, we will have a more practical session on how to engage in doctoral networks, Ahmed. And my colleague Ahmed is an associate professor at the University of Sousse and former NCP at the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Tunisia. And since 2022, he has served as the Euraccess Africa representative as well. He is currently also serving as a regional liaison officer for Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco under MSCA-GLOPOL project, and provides also support for Jordan. Thank you for that. As I said, he will guide us through proposal submission, partner search, and practical tools today. Ahmed, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tuba, for this nice introduction. Assalamu alaikum. So I'll try to share my screen. We will try to move forward
Yes, please.
to all platforms. Let me just, okay. Can you see my screen now?
We see Google, yes.
Okay, nice. So let's start with Google and we'll try to navigate. We have three platforms. The first one is Euraccess, and we will move to funding and under portal, and we will finish with MSCA matchmaking platform. So let's put Euraccess. It's access to Europe, Euro access. And the first link, when we click on this link, you will be able to connect with many features and many options. Of course, you can click on network. After that, you have Euraccess worldwide like that, and you'll be able to connect with the 9 hubs in the world. And you see the 9 hubs from Africa, ASEAN, Australia, China, India, Japan, Latin American, Caribbean, North America, and South Korea. So when we click on Euraccess Africa, you will be able, of course, to see many news and events, and feel free to register and to participate for those online workshops and online info sessions about the participation in African countries and Horizon Europe in general. And of course, we will organize, of course, some online events related to MSCA and to European Research Council grants. And when you click on sign up for free membership to Euraccess Africa, you will see this form. And please try to fill this form. You will connect to Euraccess Africa. You will receive each week a flash note. We try to summarize all news and all events in these flash notes, and you will be able to receive all information about cooperation in research and innovation between Africa and Europe. Okay, let's move to jobs and opportunities. And when you click on find jobs and opportunities, you can see that this number is more than 9,146 opportunities. And of course, you can use these filters like research profile, sector, academic level, funding program, and you see Erasmus Plus, Horizon Europe, okay, Horizon Europe MSCA, and of course, you can put the keyword here in order to select some opportunities related to your expertise and your skills. You can see here this option. We have jobs, funding, and hosting. For example, when we click on jobs, funding, and hosting, or can connect with organizations and universities and researchers and entrepreneurs. So I advise you, first of all, to create your account for free. So when you create your account, you'll be able to add your expertise, your CV through Europass CV, and your skills. And you can use, when you connect, you can use, we have a new option. It's like matchmaking, of course, between opportunities available in this portal and your skills. And let's try to, for example, we try to put PhD positions, okay? Or we can select here research profile. We can select academic level, and let's see PhD positions, okay? Okay, let's apply the filter. You see here more than 1,453 positions. And for each positions, we will have many informations about the department, the location, if it is funded by EU or not, the deadline. And for example, this one is funded by Horizon Europe. And when we see this logo, it means that the HR in excellence in research. And of course, we can use this funding, and we click on, for example, MSCA Horizon, okay, Horizon Europe and Horizon Europe MSCA, and close, and we will apply. Okay, nice. You see that now it's this position is funded by Horizon Europe. Maybe it related to this one. It's related to MSCA. When we click on PhD positions, you will see that yes, this one we have this PhD positions funded through Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, and the application deadline is 26 May, and you have some details about the job offer, the offer description, of course, and some rules where to apply. This is the email, and some requirements and some additional information. So please use your access. When you look for PhD positions, you look for some opportunities funded by MSCA, Marie Curie. I advise you to use this fund jobs and opportunities, and we will share with you the link after and in the chat. And don't hesitate to put keywords. Don't hesitate to select the country. Don't hesitate to select research field, research profile, and navigate through opportunities. Prepare yourself, enhance your visibility. Try care to your CV through Europass CV. We can Europass CV. This is the platform when you'll be able to create your CV for free, of course. And it's when you create your CV, you can connect, of course, your account used by Europass CV. You can use the same account with your access, and your CV will be connected with your profile in your access. So look, the number is very big, and we have a lot of opportunities. And this is a gateway, your gateway to have a good experience in Europe and beyond through your access. So let's move. We will have some questions, of course, too, but I think after I'm able to explain again and give more details about your access. But let's move
Sure.
let's move to Google again. Okay, let's start with Google. And we can put EU or funding like this and tenders, okay? Only that. When we put these two keywords, you can connect with the main. It's the main platform. There's only one platform who contain all programs, EU programs. This is the platform, our gateway to funding opportunities, okay? And when we click on funding and calls for proposals like that, you will see here many options. And let's start with the first one is the period. Of course, we should select 21-27. And you can see the programs. We have many programs, okay? Many programs, EU programs. And for us today, it's about Horizon Europe. So we should select Horizon Europe. And after that, we have this submission status. And my advice is no need to click on close it, because we look for call of proposals open for submission or forthcoming. So we select only forthcoming or open for submission. Okay, when we click on all filters like that, we have here the architecture of Horizon Europe. You can see here the architecture, and we have the pillar 1, we have the pillar 2, pillar 3, and the widening participations. So in pillar 1, we have MSCA actions. Okay, here. When we select MSCA actions and click to view results, you will see here we have 8 calls for proposals related to MSCA. This one for next year, 2027. But let's look to this year, MSCA Doctoral Networks for 2026. So we have this the link of call of proposals related to doctoral networks. When we click on this, you will see the first one is to have the ID, of course, but we know that it's about doctoral networks for this year, for 2026. And we can navigate through this call of proposals. You can see here the planning opening date is 28 May 2026. The deadline is 24 November this year, of course. And some information here about the type of actions, of course, you see. This is forthcoming. It means that we will have the open for submission in 28 May. It should change it here in the portal. Okay, we have the expected outcome, and we have also the scope. And this is some details about the industrial doctorates, joint doctorates, supervisory board, training activities, and supervision, career development plan, and raised doctoral networks, many information about this call of proposal. And you have the topic destination and some eligibility or admissibility conditions related to this call of proposal. And we have the budget overview. You can see here the budget. It's more than 593 million euro dedicated to this call, the MSCA Doctoral Networks for this year. So this is a great tool for us. This is a partner search tool. When you see here the number 26, I think we will see this, the number will be increased more and more in next weeks and next days. And when you click and view edits, you will be able to see all organizations, they express their interest in this call of proposals. So means that those organizations put this expertise offer or expertise requests just to say that they want to participate in this call of proposal as a partner, as a leader, as a coordinator. But for us, it's very important, as we are based in Jordan or based in Algeria or Morocco, to connect with those organizations and to try to express our interest. We are also interested to participate as a partner in this call of proposal. So my advice is to make like a short list from this list. Of course, now we have 26, but I guess that we will have more than 100 and 150 next few weeks. So my advice is to make short list. After this short list, try to see each organization profile, but because we are able to see the organization profile for each organization. For example, this one from Spain. When we click on this organizations in this university, you will see that this university, we will have the PIC number, we will have some details about the description, and of course, the number of projects. We have here 12 projects, and they have 2 times the role as a coordinator. and 9 times as a beneficiary. And you will see here there is 3 participation in Horizon Europe, 3 participation in Erasmus Plus, and other programs. Of course, we have the details about each project, and for us, they give us more and more information about this university, and we can decide if we try to contact the organization and express our interest that we see your expertise offer in the call of proposal related to Doctoral Networks 2026. And as we are based on Algeria or Morocco or Jordan, and we have this expertise and we want to participate with you to have this like a consortium and prepare a proposal under this call of proposal. So let's move to back again to partner search. No, not partner search, but I was here. Wait. No problem. Okay, we can repeat again. I will try to put quickly this horizon, and let's click on filters and select Marie Curie view results and move to 2026 doctoral networks. And this is, we have the here, we have the this partner search tool. Okay, so of course you have 2 ways to contact the organization. So through the official contact through the platform, but I guess that you have already your account, and you can connect the organization through the official option this way, or use this email, for example. I guess that many organizations, they put, yes, look, this one, for example, this is the contact from Turkey, the email contact, the WhatsApp number. This is from Spain again, Netherlands, Romania, Bulgaria, and you see many organizations. So this is the first thing to do. Of course, we have many ways. Don't forget, we have a good platform related to NCPs. So we can use guidance like that and a help desk, okay, like that. So after that, we can select the program, Horizon, and click on National Contact Points for Horizon Europe. So we should connect with the NCP, MSCA NCP in many countries in Europe. For example, when we want to look to search partner from, let's say, from Italy, okay, and we select here MSCA. So we have the contacts from the 2 NCPs from Italy, and we have the email address, and we have the WhatsApp number. And feel free to contact them. Just tell them that you are in organizations in university, and you see this call of proposals, and you are interested to participate as a partner and build a consortium in this call of proposals. So 2 clicks. The first one, I select the country, okay, and the second one, I select the function. It's Marie Curie. Okay, so after that, we can move to see the match making platform. So I return to Google, and we can put MSCA matchmaking platform. So you see here B2Match, and you should click on MSCA matchmaking platform like that. You see this wonderful website. Of course, you have a video to have some details about the functionalities of this platform. And you can look here some information about MSCA postdoctoral fellowship, MSCA Doctoral Networks, MSCA Staff Exchange, MSCA Co-Found, MSCA Citizens. So for each call, we have a lot of details. Who can apply, types of doctoral networks, many details about. And finally, you can see here some information about institutions, companies, okay? You can see the marketplace. You can see, look, when we click on institutions, of course, you can use this sidebar to put some keywords. And for each organization, you have a lot of details. Feel free to subscribe and to create a profile for your company or your university if you are a legal representative or in charge of international cooperation in your university to make this profile, and you will be able to connect with many organizations and institutions around the world. Of course, the goal is to connect and to cooperate, to collaborate in order to be able to submit a proposal or join a consortium already under preparation. So this is wonderful platform. The whole organizations, they look to participate in MSCA call of proposals. We have a lot of details in this platform. And of course, don't forget the last, it's MSCA GLOPOL platform. And you can see here in MSCA GLOPOL platform, a lot of info sessions, a lot of events, online events, and feel free to participate and to have details and to download slides to see some events related to networking and matchmaking between many countries. We focus in 20 countries and 6 regions around the world. And I think Tuba already presented a lot of things about MSCA GLOPOL. So I will stop there and I will give the floor to you, Tuba, again, and we will see.
Thank you.
Some questions.
Thank you, Ahmed. It was a very useful navigation on the websites, different websites, and I see that we receive many questions on the chat box. I'm trying to reply them. Ahmed will help me to reply all those questions, but we are just on time. That's very good also, because we know that we are all, I mean, the participants might have different things to do during the day, so we will keep to the agenda and we will reply all the questions in the chat box, we promise. Okay, so now I would like to move to our next session with our great testimonial, who will be explaining us how to be a partner. How does it make you feel as a partner in a doctoral network project, I can say. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Butina Ismaili Idrisi from University Muhammad Rabat. She is a professor of economics at this university, and she is a member of the MSCA DN Euromed-MIG PhD network project. She will share her experience on how to become a partner in a DN project and also how to implement the project, maybe, right? The floor is yours, dear professor.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be part of this event, which is very important for those who are interested to join this interesting program. I'm very delighted to share my experience as a partner, or more precisely, maybe the question would be how to become a partner in a DN project and ended up by being an associated partner. That's very interesting, and I will share with you from operationally, field how it goes. But let me share with you some major points about the program where I'm involved. It's very hard to evaluate the experience because we are at its earlier stage, but it's very important to share with you the whole experience from the beginning. As I said, it will be useful for the future candidate. But before, I forgot to thank Dr. Ahmed Maalem from University of Sousse that has invited me to this event. I've just came from Sousse from the annual conference. within this program, which was very successful. And it's been 20 years that I wasn't in Tunisia, so it was really an opportunity to be part of this program and to visit again Sousse, the Pearl of Tunisia. Being part of the consortium, it's not new for us, because the MSCA EuroMedMIG PhD network, it was in fact is a continuous process of a network of researchers involved in research in migration, because I'm an economist, and one of the area of my interest is migration. So we had already members in a previous consortium within Jean Monnet. So it was not that difficult to continue in this collaboration within a new program within MSCA EuroMedMIG PhD network. So we were, even though that is very hard for me to talk on behalf of the leading of the consortium, which is UPF, University Pompeu Fabra in Spain, who was behind all the design and has the expertise in making most of the university from the Mediterranean region to adhere to his to the network. In fact, we have started in 2019 with the perspective to forge a community of researchers to develop the field of European Mediterranean migration studies. So, as I said, the coordinator has already an expertise. So it's very important for those who are thinking about launching, a network, to have already a network that can work with. So the network, so of course, as I said, the EuroMedMIG, once the Jean Monnet program has finished, we came to, or we adhered to EuroMedMIG PhD network within MSCA or Marie Curie as the second part of this effort to create a sound community of, but this time of leading PhD students based on research excellence for the duration of 4 years, from 2005 to 2009. And I think Suhail Luka has clearly highlighted the main orientation for the program. Of course, I have asked a question because we had some issues, legal requirements, and I was expecting to answer, because it's very, the program is very nice, and but there are some legal requirements that can lead a partner to become, as University Mohammed V, to become associated partner. So that will lighten the future candidate before engaging in this program. So we have 10 university members of this consortium. They are representing mainly the Mediterranean region. We have Albania, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, of course, as initial partner, Spain, Portugal, Greece, Turkey, Belgium, Portugal. So I think I said Albania. So 10 universities that are a member of this network. And the starting, when you start the project, of course, there are a lot of questions with regard to budget, with regard to some conceptual new framework that we were not used to, like what is a secondment, that was for us mobility and secondment. So we had like previous talk about the budget, about the role and obligation, and the social benefits for the doctorate, some concrete, the working contract, how it works, how some legal requirements within the working contract. So this is very questions. Of course, we had to raise a lot of questions within the consortium with regard to activities that were proposed by the leading of the consortium, because we had plenty of activities like organizing annual conferences, PhD summer school, doctoral lectures, and other activities. Of course, the project started at March, 2025, and we had to go through recruiting PhD candidates, and we were aiming to have or to recruit 12 PhD candidates. I was supposed to supervise one of the candidates as well before becoming co-supervisor, but I will explain what happened in the way. So of course the recruitment was based on calls around thematic that were identified and drafted by supervisor that were supposed to supervise, and around main clusters with regard to the area that we are interested in, and we have identified like governance, policies and politics, taxonomies of motions and drivers, social and cultural transformation, economy and labor market. So the outcome was to have 12 PhD excellent students that can, within a limited time, to undertake a serious and excellent research project. So of course the call was launched, and we have received, and we the candidates went through selection of committee done by team members, researchers that are involved in the consortium. So of course, the process is very rigorous, and we had to evaluate. And sometimes, for example, for my case initially, we had to go through 3 calls, because the first call was not successful, the second call was not successful, because sometimes sometimes what happens, even the proposals are not convincing, the candidates are not convincing, or sometimes they don't fit the requirement of the university. Especially my university, as an economist, we had some academic requirements, and sometimes we could not find that profile. But we ended up at the end to find out within the third call. I mean and of course it happens also for other colleagues, other members, especially for this cluster economy and labor market. It was for us very hard to find a profile. Of course, I saw some questions in the chat room. They have to be newly PhD, not, for example, ongoing, PhD research, and they want to join the research. It's impossible. From my understanding, I'm not in the European Commission, and this, so I cannot, talk on behalf of the sponsor of the program. But in fact, they have to be newly and they have to fit the requirement of the university that we supervise the PhD students. Okay. So I think Suhail Luca has mentioned a lot of information that I don't want to share. I mean, once the PhD is recruited, he will benefit from a lot of I think he has mentioned like living allowance, mobility allowance, family allowance, etc. So this is very generous. I mean, very interesting. I mean, allowances that will be provided, and the program also covers all what is related to the publication, the materials. Everything will be covered by a budget related to the research activity, because there are research activities and management activities. So the research, in fact, when you look at the budget, is mainly, maybe if I can estimate, like 80% goes to the DN, to doctoral network. So that PhD has a chance that he couldn't have within our respective university, to benefit from mobility, to benefit from training, soft skills, maybe thematic training, interesting guests that can share with them topics related to methodological aspects or other areas related to the issue of data collection or other topics that may interest the research doctorate. What can I say more? Of course, when you recruit a PhD, I think Suhail has mentioned this, and it was for us very difficult in the beginning to understand, is that the issue of residence. I mean, you cannot, for example, I'm University of Rabat, I cannot recruit someone who is resident in Morocco. So, but in previous calls, I had like a Moroccan, but he was living in France for like doing his master degree. So he was eligible to the program because he was fulfilling the requirement of the program. He was not resident for the past 3 years, as mentioned by Suhail. So of course, you need to have also appropriate infrastructure to host the students when they are doing their secondment. Of course, what I want to share, why we become associate partner. This is very important because we were very happy to be part of this consortium as a partner, but there was some legal requirements and some difficulties from university part that make us we could not continue as a partner, and it was like the becoming associate partner like was to maintain, in fact, Morocco in the consortium because it's an important country and the gate of it's a country which is involved by the issue of migration, and you cannot avoid Morocco in the consortium. But at the same time, there are some requirements that was very difficult to fulfill. In fact, one of the main requirements of the European Commission, and it's very important for the audience, is, for example, the gender protocol. The gender protocol, we used to have, I mean, the gender issue, it's already like spontaneous. We spontaneous think. In my university, we had like a letter of intention that was not sufficient for European Commission, and it was one of the requirements that we had to have the gender protocol. And of course, we ended up by finding a way is that we will adopt a gender protocol to fulfill the requirements of the European Commission. So for those who wants to adhere or to launch a consortium, the gender protocol will be a main issue in there. So it's better to implement. I mean, we had already, I think if you look at the students of university, mainly, I think 50-50, we have the gender is respected in the sense that we have female students, I said 50-50, and we are represented in the main committees and the main councils of the university, but we have never, it wasn't an obligation in the previous project undertaken by run by university. It wasn't requirements by the European Commission. So the university didn't think about implementing seriously a gender protocol. But I think for this project has raised the awareness of the university that why not? We can implement. We have already the criteria, the field, we are already open. So why not? Gender protocol was easy for us to implement and to implement it for the future project. But the problems, there are another legal requirements that really hits our participation as a partner. It was related to the working contract. I think Suhail has talked about working contract. So the working contract, when you recruit the doctorate, the PhD, you consider the PhD as an employer. So for us, employer, we are in a public system. We cannot give them the insurance and the pension. So we can give them the salary as it is, the allowances as is provided. We have also shared with the university, the Pompeo Fabra, as it was playing the role of interface with the European Commission. So we said, okay, we can sign the contract, but we put in the contract that the allowances that we will receive, we will provide the PhD the monthly salary as agreed, but we will give the plus the monthly salary. We will provide, you know, all the social benefits, but the doctorate will search for the insurance. We have so many insurance company, and the candidate will be free to subscribe in any insurance company or to look for other social benefits, but it will be an obligation within the contract. So that was very difficult for us, and you know that this is the main point that hits our membership as a partner. And of course, we decided to withdraw from as a partner, and they found like a common like a ground or common agreement that we will stay as a host, as associate partner. So we have lost the budget, and the budget is run by another university that will have 2 candidates instead of 1. And actually now I'm just a co-supervisor. So with another supervisor that is supervising the students that I should have supervised if there was not this legal requirement. So this is very important, because I have realized that the European Commission, let's make it frankly, first it should be more involved in first meetings for more briefing, because we had a lot of questions in the beginning. And of course, when you are even with all the expertise as a leading consortium, so of course UPF is wonderful in designing the project, and you know the leader is very dynamic and was very involved and very listening to our requests, and he did great. I mean, in this project. But sometimes we have some specific questions that we have to wait until they ask the European Commission. So maybe for the future candidates, maybe in the first meeting, they will be like this briefing of Suhail, and we will ask all the first questions, and we can gain more time. We can gain more time as future members of consortium, okay? So this is a point. The second point, which is very, very important, I think the European Commission should be more flexible to adjust its requirements to individual realities, because we try to avoid bureaucracy. It's very hard for us to go through monthly salary. We have asked them if we can pay like quarterly. It was very difficult. Quarterly salaries, very difficult. Because for us, the machine behind treating it's very hard, because we have to go through representative of Ministry of Finance. So this is the reality that sometimes European Commission omit. So gender protocol for us was not an issue. We can implement it within 3 months, because we have already the ingredient, and we are already adhering, even though informally, to the gender protocol without having it officially as a paper. But for other requirements, other legal requirements, that is very hard. So I think it's so pity that we have missed by being a partner. Of course, the allowances, I agree with Suhail, some allowances can be less because relatively, because it depends also on the reality of each country. Morocco is not Spain, is not Belgium. So, for instance, the candidate that was supposed to be my candidate, I mean, I was supposed to be supervisor. I mean, when the budget has been shifted to another university, so it's very hard in terms of allowances, because it's of course, it was recruited. I mean, late, because we had third call. So I think this is the main points that I wanted to share. As experience, but I'd be willing to share more. The only thing that I really liked about this project is that from the kickoff meeting, because we have a kickoff meeting in December, and the involvement of the students, the networking, sometimes they are involved as organizer, as chair in committees, the feedback that we have to research proposals. For example, I am a professor. I can do a feedback in a topic that is not that is supervised by another research professor. So it's like networking feedback and mutual sharing, in a sense that every research candidate can benefit from each meeting, from different feedbacks, different perspective, so that he can upgrade his thoughts about his research project. So I think this is some points, despite the negative one, which is more legal. I think this is as a point that is, you cannot have it as an individual PhD in university, having this feedback, mutual feedback from, I don't know, students can have a feedback from university in Egypt, in Tunisia, in Greece. It depends on how the meeting is organized, and we have this different perspective which is continuously implemented throughout the project. And until now, we have just done the first annual conference, and it was really successful because we had the talk, we had also feedbacks, and the students had shared the research proposal, their ongoing research, and we are at each meeting providing to students continuous feedback so that they can improve their research proposal. So
that's great to hear all those details.
Right, but I wanted, in fact, to share some legal requirements, because I think for countries like Jordan or Algeria or other, they will face maybe some legal requirements. I don't know about their respective realities, but I think they should be aware about this issue, about especially working contract, the gender protocol. And I think this is some legal, for example, you find in the Green Agreement, if let me this is very important. I just remember.
Meanwhile you are searching on it, maybe I can, if you allow me, on this gender equality plan, and I'm checking the time as well. Meanwhile, Precious Abulfaz, can you give us just one more minute about that? Because gender equality plan, that you are totally right. This is something that the institutions need to prepare, not during the proposal submission phase. During the proposal submission phase, you, as an institution, can say that you do not have a gender equality plan. But if that proposal is funded, and if you are a partner in that proposal, then in the grant agreement process, you need to cite that, and you need to show that you have prepared and submitted this gender equality plan for your institution. This is obligatory. This is something that we need to underline. Thank you for this detail, Professor. And for regarding the work contract and all the other national issues, that's very good that European Commission is setting up the national contact point system network in the world and in many countries. And today we will introduce you 3 countries, 3 NCPs, so that I totally understand, dear Professor Butina, that being the first institution in a country or sometimes in a city which is funded by a European project, it brings really difficulties because you need to be the one who solves all those problems. I'm pretty sure that you experienced a lot about those problems. I don't want to interrupt you. I just wanted to underline those things, dear Professor Butina. So please just follow up with your final experience or challenges that you have been mentioned, and then I will leave the floor to Precious. Please, Butina.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I have finished. Okay. No, just one point. It's very important. Something that I want to share. There are some comments. For example, in the Great Agreement, we have, let's say, for example, it is mentioned in the agreement, amounts which are not refunded by a breaching beneficiary and which are not due to the granting authority shall be apportioned by the coordinator to the remaining beneficiaries pro rata according to their share of total cost of the project as identified in the consortium budget until recovery from the breaching beneficiary is possible. This is a point, and we have reacted about this point, legal requirements. We have said we cannot be responsible as university member of the consortium to be responsible of non-payment or for breaching beneficiary by other partners. Each partner should assume its responsibility if the partner has missed some obligation. So this is some points,
okay.
Another points that I wanted to share with you, and I will end my
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing all those details, because you're coming from the ground as an experienced researcher who become a partner in a project, although it's associated partner. Thank you for sharing all those details. We hope there will be many more researchers and institutions who will become partner, and they will face those challenges at the end of the day, and our national contact points will be helpful to solve those problems nationally. So you will come to that position that you are partnering with many more institutions in Europe in the coming future. Thank you for sharing this. And Precious, Abul Fazıl, I will leave the floor to you, but I think we will say ladies first. Abul Fazıl, if you allow us. So Precious, as the Africa chapter from Marie Curie Alumni Association, please share us your activities. We are eager to listen to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you so much, Tuba. Thank you to all the organizers of this program for the opportunity and for inviting me. So my name is Precious Ekwere, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Western Cape Town. And my research is focused on energy storage materials. So whether it's batteries, supercapacitors, or hydrogen. I'm currently the chair of the Africa chapter, Marie Curie Alumni Association. I know you've heard so much about the MSCA program, but beyond the MSCA program is the association, the community which we belong to. And I would say, for someone like me, I was part of the exchange, staff exchange in 2019. And I enjoyed the program, but 2019 is long gone. And we are in 2026, and I'm still benefiting from being a member of this community. I'm saying that to say this, that your journey with MSCA does not just end when the program ends, when the project ends. So you have a community which will support you at all career stages, whatever career stage you are, and it is very interdisciplinary. So no matter the discipline you are, as long as you have been part of an MSCA program, there is a community waiting for you. So this community MCAA was founded in 2012. So it wasn't enough for researchers to come do projects. Sometimes they don't even know what to do after this project. So it was necessary to form this community of like-minded people by the European Commissions who will grow together, who have the same agendas. And because community is everything, we have come to the community comes together to solve societal problems. So membership is free and it is open to any past or present beneficiary that have been funded under any of the European Commission's MSCA program. Funding and support for the MSCA is mainly by the European Commissions, and yes, we are open to diversified funding sources. The MCA provides lifetime opportunity, like I said, continual support for beneficiaries, regardless of the career path, your career stage, your location, or the field you belong to. So the vision, our MCA vision is, first of all, we're on a mission to bring together the MSCA community to support the career development of present and past MSCA beneficiaries at all career stages and be a voice for researchers across regions and across disciplines. So what is the vision? Our vision is an inclusive and sustainable, to build an inclusive and sustainable research environment that enables knowledge to benefit society. So we believe that our science is not impactful until it can solve the problem of society, until somebody who does not know anything about electrochemistry can use a battery system, then our science is not complete, right? So until we can solve science, we can solve societal problems, then our science is complete. And how can we do that? We can only do that by coming together, building this network of researchers with like-minded people. An African proverb said, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you have to go with people. So I think the most beneficial thing about joining the MSCA is having this lifelong support group. So what is our goal? Connecting the MSCA community. I think that's the biggest one for us. We want to build this community because life does not happen in isolation. You can't do any big thing in isolation. So building the community is top on our priority. So career development for MCA members, like I said, we don't just believe that after your project, we just leave you to find your way. So you come into this community where you have people to support you and help you grow in all stages or along all stages of your career. So we want to see PhD students come up, become early career researchers, and all the way to becoming chairs in their respective fields. So also, advocacy for researchers, the needs for researchers, we talk about it, we involved in science policies and diplomacy so that the actual needs of researchers can be deliberated on and solved. Right. So the services we provide, like we have a member directory. So we have this data of researchers, over 22,000 currently. And because we have this large network and large database of researchers, we can do surveys, have reports, do analysis, and make recommendations. We also organize events, our chapters. We have chapters, we have working group. So our chapters are working group, organize events, or we participate in events like this where we talk about the benefits of MSCA and joining the MCA community. So we also provide support and training. We have the MCA Academy, like the Coursera, that it's made available for the MCA members, so you can learn whatever you want to learn. We have platform like Whistleblowing, PepCV. We have the mentorship platform, so that at all stages of your life, you have somebody to be doing life with, somebody to be doing research with. I think that's the purpose of all of this. Recently, a lot of MCA members went for the Lindau Nobel Laureates program in Germany, where you meet Nobel laureates and exchange ideas with them. I was part of it. It comes up every year, and yearly the MCAA support members to attend programs like that. We have the microgrant system where we support you with some grants to go for conferences and attend programs like our the MSCA annual conference. So we have awards where we recognize the effort of members and their achievements. In all of this, we are trying to do your research journey with you. You have people that are doing your research journey with you, so that when you need to collaborate, you don't need to look everywhere. You can find within the network. You all know that there are some jobs that will not be advertised everywhere, but within the network, within the conversation, you can come into conversations that gives you opportunity. That is the purpose of this network. So we have MSCA members, like I said, 22,000 plus, and we have them scattered across about 155 nationalities. So the structure, we have the MSCA board. We have the MSCA board, which constitute of the executive members that are voted in. We also have the chapters, MSCA chapter. We also have the MSCA chapters, which we have Africa, we have in Asia, we have in Europe, we have in America. We also have the MSCA working groups. The board members are volunteer members. They provide strategic oversight and leadership. We have the operational team members, and then we have the chapters and working groups. The African chapter, which I am currently the chair of, comes under the different chapters we have. And what do we do in Africa chapter? Mostly strengthening MSCA awareness in Africa, because if you're around this area, you will know that the awareness is not even, people don't really know about the opportunities that exist in the MSCA action. So what do? We strengthen the awareness. We organize programs, webinars, where we talk about the opportunities that are available for researchers under the MSCA programs. We also build active research communities among African researchers, so that we talk about our challenges that are peculiar to Africa. Yes, so we have that network of people, the community we are building for African researchers. So we present in policy engagement, bringing the African perspective into conversations, different conferences, different forums. Like I said, the MSCA provides you with a lot of opportunity. You're going to be in platforms, you're going to be in discussions that's probably, as a researcher on your own, you may not get into. My program finished long ago, but I'm still benefiting from what comes out from being in a community, getting into platform, getting into rooms that you may not have the opportunity to be to if you were doing life alone. We also plan our own, we collaborate with other network or other international support network like UXs, and like what we are doing now with GLOPOL. We collaborate, or we do our own targeted webinars where we talk about the challenges in Africa and how we navigate it, like the reintegration of MSCA members, which we know can be challenging into Africa. We try to also affect the society where we find ourselves. So we have programs like the Midnight, where we collaborated with Midnight to meet students. That's some of our members there. We have another one where we collaborated with foundations to also reach out to kids, because it's good to start hearing about Europe early if we want them to actually choose Europe. So if you are a researcher, you have benefited in MSc, any of the MSCA actions, and you're looking for a community that you will join and make impact, I would ask you to please join us in the MSCA community, because your research, your project might just be for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but the MSCA community will have a lifelong impact on your career. We support researchers at all career stages. So what are you waiting for? Join us. Thank you so much. You can reach us on any of the email, and thank you so much for your attention. Thank you again for listening. Thank you, the organizers of the program. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
Precious, we do thank you for your very kind contribution to the event. It was a very nice presentation. We learned a lot, and I think we will learn more from Abul Fazıl as well. Do you have a presentation to share, Abul Fazıl? Please do so. Meanwhile, I am leaving the floor to you. We would like to hear what Middle East chapter from Marie Curie Alumni Association is doing in the region.
All right, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Just let me share my slides. All right. So can you see the slides?
Yes, now full screen we can see. Thank you.
All right, okay, so thank you very much, everyone. My name is Abul Fazıl, and currently I am based and working in Kuwait. I'm a professor of electronics and communication engineering in Kuwait College of Science and Technology. So before starting, let me thank the organizers for hosting this event, especially inviting the Middle East chapter to have a few words with the researchers in the region. So hopefully, Dr. Precious made my job easy, explained most of the structure and everything about the Alumni Association of Marie Curie, so I don't need to spend maybe too much time on that. Well, as mentioned, the Marie Curie Alumni Association is a big organization. It's not just a gathering or something. It's a very well-established organization, about 15 years old. And there are more than 24,000 plus members from a lot of countries, from more than 155 countries. But before continuing, let me mention that Alumni Association of Marie Curie comes to the picture after you, as a researcher or individual, you obtain one of these opportunities, one of these Marie Curie actions successfully. Then you can become a member of this association and benefit from a lot of things that is offered by this association and already mentioned. And the second thing is that my audience, or what mostly I'm addressing, the people addressing today, are the individual researchers, because I know since the beginning of today's event, we have a lot of good talks to introduce different opportunities and actions of Marie Curie. But most of them were addressed to organizations, not individuals, like the co-fund or like the staff exchange. These are first the institutions, universities, organizations that they have to apply, join a consortium and prepare documents and apply. And after this consortium combination, they get that award, then they start to hire researchers or PhD students and so on. So I am addressing today those individuals who will get one of these Marie Curie action opportunities soon in the future, or some of you already may have it. You may have, for example, joined the DN opportunity for Marie Curie or a postdoctoral fellowship and so on. So those are the ones that I'm addressing. So the Marie Curie Alumni Association is based on 3 pillars already mentioned: networking, career development, and science policy. For networking, we have a lot of activities in this organization. The most important one is the Marie Curie Alumni Association Annual Conference. It's a very huge event. I will talk about it more in details soon. We have chapters, working groups. We have also a lot of programs for career development of early stage researchers, like online courses, webinars, mentoring program. We have micro grants, we have awards, which is given in the annual conference and so on. And also we are active in science policy. We organize specialized studies for science diplomacy, for example. The last one I remember was about the the role of AI, for example, in science and in education. So these are some of the activities that we have. There is a big structure. So as I told you, this is a huge organization. We have a general assembly, we have boards, 11 voting board members, we have chapters in different regions. In Africa, there's one chapter. In Asia, we have 5 chapters. So Middle East chapter is one of the chapters available in Asia. In Europe, many chapters we have got in Americas, Oceania as well. We have the Secretariat of MCAA, which runs the daily tasks of the organization, and so on. There are different projects that we partner with. So the GLOPOL, which organized today's event, is one of our partners, as well as many other projects that we partner with. So for the Middle East chapter, I was just elected as the chair. So it's not a long time, and we have a vice chair, which was previously the chair. Dr. Amani made an amazing contribution to our chapter. We also recently selected some other board members, like the event manager and the communication manager. So myself, I am a member of Alumni Association. Why? Because I got the co-fund fellowship like about 10 years ago, and I benefited from this opportunity of Marie Curie Action. I took it in Republic of Ireland. I spent some time. That was actually the first time I moved to Europe, so maybe it's good to spend a few minutes to explain about my own experience. Maybe it's going to be helpful. So I did many things. I was working before that in Japan as an assistant professor for many years. I had, during my PhD studies, spent time in Asia, in Taiwan, in many other countries. So I had a view about how it works, the academia and research and everything. But I can say these Marie Curie opportunity I had probably so far in my career have been the best opportunity that I had. The reason is that it's not just about going and sitting and doing some research and then saying goodbye. It's a huge program. In the beginning of today's events, our esteemed speaker, they talk about it. They say that it's a multidimensional program. It's not just about one aspect, which is the research. It's about intersectoral relationships. It's about mobility. It's about education and training and many things. So during my tenure there as a co-fund fellow, Marie Curie co-fund fellow, I had access to a lot of training, some things that still I am using and benefiting from that experience that I had the networking events, I had invited to seminars, workshops, something that maybe it's missing from many PhD programs in many countries, in many universities. I hear some PhD students or graduate students, they're always complaining that we got this position in this country for a PhD or even as a postdoc. We went there, we were left on our own. So they just gave us a desk. You sit there, nobody to ask questions. We had this problem. We were new to the country. We didn't know how to find, for example, the IT office. We had problem with housing, with this and that. There was nobody to help or ask. So it took us many months to actually understand a little bit how things work here. But the thing is that most of those institutes are dealing with Marie Curie. They have already a concrete plan in place to help the fellows and to solve their problems. And it's not just that. They have a lot of good networking events for these fellows. They have a lot of opportunities for training. Training is very important. That is one important part of all the Marie Curie actions, that you have access to training. So it's not just about getting a PhD or doing a research during your postdoc, but still you need to learn. Still you need to learn during the process of your research or your PhD study. So that was my experience during this. So about going back to the Middle East chapter at a glance, we have so far 34 members, and the name is Middle East, but you're all invited to join when you get your Marie Curie fellowship, or if you already have it or you have finished, no problem. As long as you're affiliated with one of these actions, you're welcome to join us as a member. We have, as you can see, most of our members are even from the North African country, because it's not geographically part of Middle East, but it is politically related to Middle East. And some other statistics as well about the majors. So as mentioned, Marie Curie is a bottom-up architecture. So all the majors are welcome to apply for these opportunities. And also, you can see here in the middle, most of our members are females. So we're almost gender balanced as well. So we have organized also events, many events before, since maybe more than 4 years ago that it was established, the Middle East chapter for the Alumni Association of Marie Curie. We have introduction sessions to Marie Curie actions. We had the networking events. We had also even one introduction to Python programming event and so on. But what I want to talk a little bit more about it today is the annual conference is the biggest event that we have. I told you we have maybe more than 24,000 members, and all the members are welcome to attend our annual conference, which is a huge event. Many members, they attend, they network, they know each other, they exchange ideas, and it's amazing. So this year it was in Brussels. It finished 25th of April. I came back last week. I attended that myself. We had also the GLOPOL stand. I think, yes, I met many of the colleagues from GLOPOL as well there during this conference, annual conference. We had a lot of satellite events, very informative. One of the ones that I personally attended was this FP10 brainstorming session, the satellite event that they ask our opinion about how we think that the next program for Horizon should look like, and if you proposed any ideas or changes or anything. It was very informative. There were a lot of brainstorming and idea exchanges during that. And so on. We had also the honor of hearing some very important invited speakers and guests during our annual conference. You can see we had as speakers the member of European Parliament. We had also the European Commissioner for Startups and Research, Ms. Riva. We had some previous heads of members of parliaments in different European states and so on. So it was a very, very interesting and informative event. For the Middle East chapter, we plan for the next 2 years to organize events, networking events, mostly webinars, and try to bring together the researchers, especially the Marie Curie fellows and alumni in Middle East, and of course the countries like Morocco, Algeria, Northern African countries are more than welcome. One reason is that, as you know, the Middle East is a little bit underconnected within the Marie Curie Alumni Association. When I say Middle East, I'm mostly focused. I know that in North Africa you have a lot of events and things like that, but I'm talking mostly about the GCC countries, the Gulf Cooperation Council countries like Kuwait, that now I'm working here. I'm not from Kuwait, I'm just working here. From Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, from Bahrain. So we need to do a little bit more work in order to spread the word about Marie Curie opportunities here as well. So yes, there are many things that we plan to do just to start this new term for the Middle East chapter, and you're all welcome to join us. And hopefully, inshallah, you get your you apply and you get your fellowship. And we see you soon as one of our members in Middle East chapter. Again, thank you for inviting Middle East chapter and the opportunity. This is our email address for the chapter and our LinkedIn account and X account. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Abul Fazl, for being with us and for sharing all those precious information. Thank you for sharing your contact detail as well. I'm sure participants will reach out to you for any kind of question. And I really agree with you. One day, I hope some participants from today's event will become a Marie Curie alumni at the end of the day. I wish you from my heart. Okay, having said that, I think we will come to the last session of our info day, which is the national contact points session. I'm just checking if three of our national contact points from three different countries, Jordan, Algeria, and Morocco, are here. I see Omayma by face. Thank you for turning on your camera, Omayma. If the other colleagues allow me, we can start with you, Omayma, if you like. I just would like to very shortly tell you that you are the national contact point for MSCA, for Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. Since the beginning of the event, we have been saying that there are at least one national contact point in member states and associated countries. But day by day, in the third countries also, there becomes new national contact points. And for Jordan, I would like to introduce you with Omayma Beni Salman as national contact point. So the floor is yours, Omayma. Please tell us more what you are doing in Jordan as NCP activities.
Thank you, Tuba. Thank you all for this informative session. Good afternoon, everyone. Allow me first to say a brief hello and emphasize that this is a truly valuable opportunity to collaborate with our colleagues from Algeria and Morocco under MSCA Global Project and to bring together such an engaged and diverse audience. My name is Omayma Beni Salman, and I am the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action National Contact Point for Jordan at the Higher Council for Science and Technology. I came from engineering background. I hold a degree in chemical engineer and a master in mechanical engineer, that is with a focus on energy and sustainable development. This is a background allow me to better understand the needs and challenges faced by researchers and innovators. Allow me to briefly introduce the institution I represent. The Higher Council for Science and Technology is an independent national body that serves as the umbrella for science, technology, and innovation activities in Jordan. It plays a central role in shaping national research policies, setting priorities, and supporting research and innovation in line with national development goals. Through its mandate, the Higher Council worked to strengthen the national research ecosystem, promote applied research, and enhance collaboration between academia, industry, and international partners. It also represents Jordan in regional and international scientific platforms and facilitate cooperation opportunities for researchers and institutions. Within HCST, the International Cooperation Department coordinate the Horizon Europe National Contact Point network in Jordan, support participation in programs such as MSCA Actions. As a national contact point, my role is to support researchers, institutions, and stakeholders in Jordan in accessing and successfully participating in Horizon Europe, particularly Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. The service I provide is providing clear information and awareness about MSCA calls and funding opportunities, offering guidance on proposal preparation, including eligibility rules, consortium building, and evaluation criteria, support partner search and matchmaking, assisting with the use of FNT portal and submission procedures, organize info days, workshop, and training session, the one we are organizing today. Our main goal is to simplify the process for you, reduce barriers to participation, and support you in developing strong and competitive proposals. In HCST, we have been actively working on raising awareness about MSCA opportunities through HCST communication channels and online sessions like today's Info Day. Looking ahead, the Higher Council is planning more focused and practical sessions dedicated to Jordanian researchers to further support your participation, I am pleased to share that we have start planning for the EU-Jordan Research Day, tentatively scheduled for the late June or early July 2026. This will be around 2 or 3 days event designed to cover different geographical locations across Jordan in order to reach a wider research community. The program will include several EU funding opportunities, with a strong focus on Horizon Europe and Marie Skłodowska actions. Importantly, the event will also include hands-on session, providing practical guidance and proposal preparation, partner search, and much more to be presented. The Higher Council believes that this will be a valuable opportunity for direct interactions, learning, and networking. So please stay tuned. We will be sharing more details, invitations, and announcements very soon. Finally, I would like to highlight that we are here to support our Jordanian researchers at every stage, from shaping your initial idea to submitting your proposal. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact me. I will leave my contact details in the chat box. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to work with many of you in the future.
Thank you, Umayma. Thank you. That was a very concise, very nice speech. So all the researchers who are with us today from Jordan now know you, whom to contact, where to ask questions. So I hope that you will receive many questions and you will receive many participants to the events that you are mentioning also. So having said that, Karima, are you with us? I see you're here, but if you would like to also turn on your camera, we will be leaving the floor to you. Can you hear me? Karima? But others can hear me, right? Ahmed?
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
It's not my voice problem. I think we lost Karima and also Samira. I don't see them, although they have been waiting for the speech. I think we issue some technical problems with the voice and camera, but maybe we will ask them to share not only the contact details, but maybe with some slides so that you will see their contact details, whom to reach in Algeria and Morocco. So we will place their contact details and also slides if they send on our website. We already mentioned that we will place all the presentations delivered today, plus the recording of the event, and with a nice outcome website text on our website. If you have registered our event, I think you do. I saw more than 200 participants today, so you will receive the link to our website where you will see all those presentations and recordings. So you will receive it in your inbox. If not, please check our website. But I see that Karima is somewhere around. Karima, can you hear us? I will try one more time because this technical problem might be solved. I saw that the voice is coming and going. Okay, no, we have, as I said, this technical problem. No problem. We will be sharing with you more detail about the national contact points of those two countries from Algeria and Morocco, and you already heard the details from Jordan. Okay, Karima, the problem is we don't hear you. Oh, great, we hear you. You solved the technical problem. Perfect. So I have been just talking about how participants can reach you as Morocco National Contact Point, but I'm very happy to see you here. Before we close the session, would you like to take the floor for 5 more minutes to explain us what you are doing and to provide your contact details for the researchers who can reach you in Morocco?
Thank you so much for being for inviting me to this session. We would like to thank Mr. Ahmed. Thank you for you also to present to make a presentation. Yes, I'm sorry, I can't prepare anything, but we are working in Morocco to reach and to help our researcher to participate and to push them to participate too in all of the Marie Curie's action. It's not easy, but we do our best to do this. We have with the ministry, we have a scheduled some session information session to our colleagues in Morocco in different university, particularly in the 12 public university. We will organize some session in June in July, and I hope the maximum of researchers will participate with us in this session. And also we received we called us and we received some emails that we ask us how to prepare the proposal. Our teams in my university and in the ministry help them to do this. This is what we do now, and I hope we can have more participation from Morocco researcher in the next week, in the next call. Thank you so much.
Great, Karima. I also know that you are doing great in Morocco, and we are very happy to engage you, to keep in touch with the participants of today's event. I hope you will have many testimonials, success stories in the future calls, and we will invite them to the info days soon. Thank you for this contribution. Okay, with this, I think we just arrived to the end of the session. We would like to thank you all, first to our kind speakers, to being with us today, for sharing all those experiences from the ground and also from practical side, also from technical side. They were all very, very beneficial for all of us. And we would like to see you all in some other occasions, in some other events that we are organizing. As we mentioned, Ahmed and I already mentioned, in GLOPOL website, you will see that there are many other events, ongoing events already, even today, in different parts of the world. You can join one of them as you are interested in the topic, or you can also follow only the ones interesting with your countries. That's the thing that I would like to mention. But Ahmed, would you like to have something before closing the session also?
Yes, I want to say just one word is be proactive and be connected with us. We will catch a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, that's great, Ahmed. Thank you for this edition and have a great day. We still have, depending on the country that you are now in, we still have time to finish the day. Have a great one. See you next time.
Ciao, bye-bye.
Thank you, goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye. Ciao.
Bye.